I'm JXjunk, and I'm gonna be running Wipeout the game. And this is the commentator Jake.
Hello.
Alright, so
Yeah, this game is based off the TV show Wipeout. You might remember it ran from 2008 to 2014 on ABC. The idea was that people do a bunch of obstacle courses, they fall down, and we laugh at them.
and now you're gonna be laughing at me. Alright, so start. I haven't played this category in a bit.
So I believe that this is all the challenges, right?
Yep.
Or all the Alright, so in challenge mode, the goal is to beat all the individual courses as fast as possible, of course. It is a speedrun. So you start. Which Wipeout zone are you starting on?
Extreme. And that was just a glitch right there where it makes you jump for no reason.
That's because this is a good game. So, are you trying to fail the barrel run, or no?
No. It goes on infinitely.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, so, in the challenge mode, he can only advance past an obstacle once he completes it. In the TV show mode, if you fail an obstacle 3 times, you'll be assessed a time penalty and just move on to the next one, but so this first one is the extreme version of the barrel run. In something like easy mode, you'd only have 1 ramp. In challenging, you'd have 2. This is extreme. There's 3 ramps, and there's barrels coming down on all of them, and they can hit you pretty much whenever they want to.
Ooh. Alright, this part is just an auto-scroller.
Yeah. Gears of Doom do not take too terribly long, but we do wish they would go faster because they spin very slowly. There's 6 in Extreme, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3 originally, then 4 in Challenging, 6 in Extreme. And we've got the Scary Go-Round, which sucks. It's just horrible. So most of Wipeout the game, you're going to be playing it in kind of on a 2D plane in very few specific obstacles, like the Scary Go-Round. You have 3D controls, and as you might imagine, the 3D controls in this game aren't good. So what the Extreme mode Scary Go-Round does is it just stacks 2 Scary Go-Rounds on top of each other. So the idea here is that you jump onto that first platform with the circle landing, and then you're going to want to try to jump up and grab that little platform and try to climb up, which is very, very finicky.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I'm a little bit behind on the stream. Let's see what just happened here. How did you survive that?
I do not know.
Alright, back up. Oh, okay, well, yeah, this game, whenever you get in a bad spot, it'll just ragdoll you, and, sometimes it just does it whenever it wants. Dun, dun, dun.
Right, the game is taking me backwards.
What?
The game was moving in the wrong direction.
Oh my god, why? Yeah, this is as somebody who played this game for years, albeit not speedrunning it much, just played casually because I was a big fan of Wipeout. It's interesting. There's a bunch of Wipeout games. This is kind of like among those who follow who followed the show and like, were like really into it, this was kind of like the cult classic of the group, just because it plays probably the worst of the bunch, but it's one of the most faithful to the actual show. I believe we are currently in a position of just standing around, waiting for this to come around. And coming out onto this platform is very difficult.
Oh, I got it.
Nice. Alright. We are into the combination of Piston Punch and Blades of Fury. You will notice that some of the blades at some point are not connected to any of the platforms. Just because, you know, they didn't want to model that.
Oh my god, I was so close to being trapped.
One of my favorite parts about the piston punch in this game is how it's not really a piston punch. In the real show, you'd have them like coming out and trying to take you out, like at the legs or something. Here, they just try to flatten you. Also, something interesting that I noticed is how in all the promotional stuff, the piston punch is gray like it is in the real show, but in the game itself, it's red. So, are we on to the launch pads?
Yep.
Alright.
And quit timing. Oh.
Alright, so that is the extreme wipeout zone. That's probably going to be the toughest course of the bunch, which I assume is why we start with it.
Yep.
Should be a little bit smoother sailing from here on out.
And split.
Which course are we headed to now?
Extreme Qualifier.
Alright, so extreme mode only has one set of courses. In easy mode, you'll have, like, a rotation of 3 different obstacles for most positions. In challenging mode, what happens is they will take 2 of those obstacles and just combine them. So you do one, and then you go up and you do another. In extreme, it's all 3. So this first obstacle here is the extreme sweeper trees. JXjunk Tempestral is asking me, when you said stop timing, did you mean that we should pause the timer in menus?
Oh, no. Quit timing is a technique where you, it's where when you do the final obstacle, you try and press 1 as fast as possible, and you leave the level.
So it skips over the
Yes.
the final screen.
Yep.
Alright. So we are, I believe, it sounds like we are through the fence flapper and onto the sucker punch. Failing anywhere on this obstacle is a huge time sink, just because if you fall, you have to go back down to the start of it.
Alright, there we go.
But we are through the door knock and on to the last obstacle of this qualifier, where we will combine the hoop run, the rug pull, and the rolling stones. Which is, I'm still not entirely sure why it's called the Rolling Stones in this game, because it has no stones, it's just the hoops from the hoop run going back and forth across a log. Which is, they could have just called it the log roll, which is what the generic name for the obstacle is, but I didn't make the game. I still am not entirely sure what was going through the minds of the people who made this game. That's about all that can be said for the extreme qualifier.
Alright, extreme wipeout zone time.
Didn't you already do that?
No. Challenging wipeout zone.
Yeah, okay.
And split.
Challenging wipeout zone will have just 2 sets of the barrel run. The Gears of Doom only have 4 gears. There is what a friend of mine has dubbed the pole of death on the scary-go-round. It's a normal scary-go-round, but there's a pole in the center of it that is acting as the rig for a bunch of wrecking balls that hang over it. If you touch the pole, you will ragdoll and probably get stuck in the pole. More often than not, if you touch the pole, you will not be able to escape. Barrel run can be very tricky when you're just trying to send it.
Ooh. Okay, Gears time.
It's interested me how barrel run was one of the tougher ones in the game, one in the show. Almost nobody ever fell off it. Here's a Doom, pretty much a gimme, especially in the TV show mode. You will be contending with other CPUs who will be trying to launch projectiles at you, and in the Wipeout zone, they each get 1 projectile apiece, instead of like being able to fire rapid fire in the other rounds. But the difference being that in the Wipeout zone, those are medicine balls.
What
and
is happening? What?
One hit from them will knock you off. And yeah, you might be stuck in the pole of death. There's a pole of death that I mentioned. Valley Girl, she's okay. Don't worry, she's back now. But yeah, in TV show mode in the Wipeout zone, your opponents will be given medicine balls, and your goal is either to dodge them, or if you duck, then even if you get hit by them, they won't do anything. It's effectively blocking it. You can't duck on the Gears of Doom, so you just basically have to hope that they don't hit you. Because sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, the aptly named Pole of Death. Can catch you pretty easily. Hitting the wrecking balls is actually very uncommon.
Oh
so
my
much
God.
as getting trapped in that pole is.
I love these 3D controls. These are too good.
Yeah, I think my general technique for... I just saw it. Yeah, so what he was trying to do there was just jump onto that long rotating platform. I'm almost positive that he did angle the analog stick of the nunchuck towards that beam. He decided to not send it in that direction.
Oh my God, again.
This game is very difficult to play. Yeah, so the setup for this is that you are doing most movement with the nunchuck. If you try to jump onto you're gonna get hit by those wrecking balls. Yeah. If you try to jump onto a ledge and you barely catch it, you have to shake the Wii remote really fast to climb up. Which, for whatever reason, is a mechanic that they decided to keep into Wipeout 2, which is a completely different game. But you're moving with the analog stick on the nunchuck. Jumping is A on the Wii remote. Ducking is B. And isn't the pause button 1 or 2?
It's 1 for some reason.
Controls
is 2.
Yeah, oh yeah, because the controls menu is not in the pause menu, it's a completely different button.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure plus does nothing.
Yep. Plus and minus do nothing.
Plus and minus will never do anything. Despite the fact that plus is the universal button for pause menus. Yeah, we're just as irritated about how long the scary-go-around is taking, because a lot of the time there's nothing you can do to make it go faster.
Oh my God.
Oh.
The stupid 3D controls make no sense.
They do not like steering you in the direction that you try to go. And in easy mode, in the TV, in the play the show mode, there is 4 rounds, of course. The third round is a free-for-all, where
Yeah,
you'll
just like
have to
my
contend
family
with...
reunion.
Yeah. Or, as an unused voice line in the game, sounds funky. Yeah, there's unused voice lines in the game that they just didn't put in, so they say the same thing before the hosts say the same thing before every round, every time. But in easy mode, that free-for-all round is called the Dizzy Dummy, which means that you spin around for a while, and then you have to go do some obstacles, and you have to cross a platform before that while contending with your opponents who are also dizzy. If you thought 3D controls were bad here, they intentionally don't respond well in that, because you're dizzy. God, will we ever get off this merry-go-round is the question. I sure hope so.
I have never had this happen to me before, ever.
Marathon luck.
What? And last marathon, which was like a week ago, this didn't happen. I did play the show all levels. This just supports the theory that the game is sentient and trying to kill everyone.
Every copy of Wipeout the game is personalized. You thought Mario 64 was bad. So, just something quick about the history of the Wipeout games, the video games. This is the only home console release of this game. I believe they released the other one just on the DS, and that plays completely differently, but has the same kind of aesthetic. But naturally, it has to play differently as it's on DS. And then we have Wipeout 2, which is completely different because there was a Kinect game called Wipeout in the Zone released around the same time. So they just ripped a bunch of assets from that and put it into a Wii game. It's not good.
Oh, it was also
I
on
have done plenty of
3DS.
speed running on it. Oh yeah, and the one for 3DS is just knockoff Wipeout 3, I think, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Wipeout
thinking
3
of
and 2.
Wipeout 2 mobile.
Yes.
So, we have the Wipeout iOS game, which is also its own thing completely. And then, Wipeout 2 on console sucks. Wipeout 2 on DS, on 3DS, I've never actually played, but I've heard it's actually not that bad. But, then you get to Wipeout 3, which is where we start to have dueling releases with, it's on, like, every platform at the time, every console at the time.
Including 3DS.
That one, they completely redo the art style again. And the most notable aspect of this, of Wipeout 3 and its successor, Create and Crash, which is the only one where they actually keep like the same engine from the previous game, it stops following actual Wipeout. Like, it just goes its own way and puts its own themes together, which, sounds cool, except in Wipeout, one of the main appeals for me is how you'll have all these different kinds of rounds. Like, you'll have the sweeper where it's kind of like an endurance thing you want to stay on for as long as possible. You'll have like the free-for-all rounds where the goal is to get to the end before everybody else. In Wipeout 3, each episode is the same 4 rounds, but they're all just linear obstacle courses, which is very boring. And the thing about it is, you can't lose. You can take 5 years on an entire episode and you will win because it's impossible for the CPUs to beat you. They don't even, They don't even attribute, like, fake times to them. We are still on the scary go-round.
I think it's a problem with the nunchuck at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yep, it was the nunchuck.
Welcome to Wipeout the game.
I think this is a world record for longest scary go-round ever.
World record pace, guys. We're gonna save the marathon. It didn't need to be saved, but actually it did. We just didn't know it yet. You'll be thanking us when this is over. So we got a new nunchuck. This has happened to me before. You can, the nunchuck is notoriously a hunk of plastic. Just jumping in the water on my screen. Alright. Will we make it this time?
Yep, I am using like a brand new nunchuck that has never been used before. Let's go!
Finally!
10 minutes!
Oh.
Someone clip this. Alright, so this is the rage part again. Oh my god, I was like 2 pixels off.
One of the things I really like about the piston punch when you're in a play the show is how the CPUs almost never actually beat the piston punch aspect of it. Most of the time they will just walk. Sometimes they'll just decide to walk back and forth and then get stuck inside a piston. Launch pads are without a doubt the easiest and fastest obstacle in the zone.
10:45.
Wow. In case you were wondering, that's not a good time. That is the marathon luck for you.
Alright. Challenging 1.
Yeah, the qualifying round will has a bunch of different course layouts. Except for Extreme, naturally, there's only one because it just combines all the obstacles. So, what's the first one in this one?
Super trees. It's just a lot slower.
Yeah, well, the configuration's also different. It's more similar to the one that they had in the real show.
Right there was task perfection. I don't think you can get better than 8 seconds.
Can't you get like 4 seconds on the dirty balls in the qualifier?
It's 6 seconds.
Huh.
And then 5 seconds is the bananas, which is later on in the run.
Oh, yeah, the diving boards on this one can chuck you up. This is the big balls, the classic one. You'll notice in Extreme there were 5 balls and a swinging mace in the middle of the obstacle. Here's it's just they're just moving up and down, which doesn't make it that much harder. This is in something like a play the show run. This is the 4th obstacle that you probably will want to get.
I just got the Yeet strat that saves time in play the show.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so how this game determines whether or not you've made it past an obstacle is sometimes it just doesn't. I think what we figured out is if you are ragdolled for long enough at a time, it just counts it as a fail.
Or in the 2D zone, or the 3D zone, I guess.
Yeah.
It's vice versa for the other one.
Yeah. There are out of bounds. Yeah, sometimes you'll ragdoll for a while, get up, and then it'll just make you go back to the start of the obstacle because it counts as a fail. We don't know why. There are areas, if you go out of bounds because of physics jankage, it will make you try the obstacle again. But as shown on that fourth obstacle last time, sometimes you can just go flying and you will hit the sensor, or at least get into the area of obstacle completion, and you can just keep going. And sometimes you'll go flying past it and not touch it, like what happened with the Blades of Fury earlier.
I didn't get the warp speed strat.
Well, you'll have more chances. Yeah, the sucker punch is the least fun obstacle in the fourth position, just because of how long it takes. You can't jump on this one, and if the gloves hit you in the wrong spot, like, I believe if they hit you while you're crouched at all, you're immediately gonna fall.
Yeah.
Besides that, you get a little bit of leeway. Oh, just at the end of the door knock there got clipped. Oh, jeez. Valley Girl's not having a great day right now. Let it be known that they never had these combination obstacles in the show, because that would not have passed health and safety.
Again, oh my.
Door knock was also an interesting choice for this game, because the gimmick of door knock in real life was that there was a hammer behind each door, but the contestants didn't know that, so they would run over and pick a door, hoping that they would, like, get lucky or something, but no matter which door they picked, they'd get hit by a giant hammer.
Oh,
and here they made it something more linear, which is interesting.
Oh my god, again.
You might want to just pause a little bit there just to let it cycle through more. Yeah, falling through the grass is something that happens to me in real life all the time.
Huh.
And as I said earlier, this game is hard to play. One thing that's also interesting about this game, if you emulate it on something like Dolphin, I believe some obstacles have different cycles, or they, like, run a little bit faster.
Yeah, that's why they're separate now.
Yeah, there's a split on speedrun.com between console verification and emulation, just because the game does legitimately behave differently between the two methods.
Ooh.
Which just shows you how it keeps you on your toes, because Wipeout. Just went flying onto the platform.
Oh, and it's important that I pick Valley Girl because she's the best character in the game. Along with Black and Blue.
Do you care to explain why that is?
So she runs just as fast as Black and Blue.
Which are the
secret characters.
The final secret characters, which have, like, the best stats in the game.
Oh, apparently they do.
Yeah.
So, she also has a faster cutscene.
Oh, yeah.
In Play the Show.
Yeah, at the beginning of Play the Show, every character is, like, introduced at the beginning of the first round, and Valley Girl has the shortest introduction from Jill Wagner at the beginning. The Black and Blue crew are the nicknames for the people who would, like, test the courses, and then they also had people in the Black and Blue crew, like, throwing stuff at the contestants in the actual episodes. There are two Black and Blue characters, one male, one female, and once you get all the medals and all the challenges, you unlock the Black and Blue characters, which have the best stats in the game.
Apparently, you have.
Yeah.
For some reason, the real stats you have to buy Wipeout DS.
Yeah, the special characters you can. There's a bunch of characters. They all have like different gimmicks. Like you have Valley Girl, who's she loves shopping and everything, and then you have whatever dude who's a surfer, and most likely succeed. Who, in the words of Jill Wagner, dreams of opening an online fitness studio.
And runaway groom who dipped on his girlfriend.
Yeah. To be on Wipeout. Of all things. And the special characters you can unlock John Anderson, John Henson, and Jill Wagner, who were the hosts of the show, and the Black and Blue members. We're getting asked how many levels you have to go. I believe
6.
this should be like 6, yeah. There are 2 challenging qualifiers that we got through, and now we're just on to the easy ones, which hopefully shouldn't take too long because they're only singular obstacles. Well, we have just bailed on the banana hammocks, which is not something that usually happens. Yeah, first obstacle here, the banana hammocks. In the show and the qualifier, these obstacles were designed to be so that you would almost never beat them. In the game, you have to beat them, which is fun, to say the least. In Play the Show in Extreme, is the meta for the Wipeout Zone just to fall on everything because it's faster?
For a lot of it, you fall. Or you have to hope you don't get hit on some of them.
Yeah, Wipeout 2 is interesting in that sense because after you fail any obstacle, you can take a time penalty in-game to just skip it, which I believe is why Wipeout 2 uses the in-game time. But that also brings up the issue of there are collectibles in Wipeout 2 which make it so that you can lower your in-game time. And there are points at which you can go into the negatives. So, Wipeout 2 is kind of tricky in that sense.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can collect rings throughout most of the rounds, and the sweeper round is entirely just like a bonus round, where you can take up to like 53 seconds off your total time. I've been in the negatives going into the Wipeout Zone before.
That can happen, apparently.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. It's completely... What I was thinking, what I've told some of my friends who also play this game, they could have just taken most of the assets in the engine from the first Wipeout game, just added some things in and put out Wipeout 2, but instead they just ported over a bunch of stuff from Wipeout in the Zone and put it on a controller.
Oh, and it's important that frick, I forgot what I was gonna say. I guess it's not that important.
This game will do that to you.
Alright, we're on 3, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yes, Rexkip, he is one of the best players in the game. He is trying to make a Wipeout mod for Revolution.
Yeah,
Rex to fix the game.
Rex has been a close friend of mine for years. We actually actively there's a big community for obstacle course stuff on Roblox, just because it lends itself to that really well, and there's a really intricate Wipeout community there, which if you have any experience with Roblox, I would advise checking out the Wipeout game by the Miner Boy 10 on Roblox, just because it's really, really good. But
oh yes, I got warp speed.
Rex has done Wipeout for a very long time on Roblox and has had years of experience with this game.
10 years to be exact.
Good lord. Yeah, for better or for worse, years of experience with this game, and he's been working on making mods for this game. Which, mods for a piece of shovelware tells you just how much of a cult following this game has. I believe the current one, the only real big one that he has out is called Better Easy, which, just takes easy mode and play the show and beefs it up a bit. So, like, instead of there being the dizzy dummy in round 3, I think he made it do the double cross.
Oh, that's cool.
And stuff like that.
Alright, task perfection right there.
He's also a pain to play this game with online because he's really good at it. So on stuff like the dirty balls, there are. So there's up to 4-player multiplayer in this. It's competitive, and how I mentioned how the CPUs will shoot projectiles at you. You get to do that as the player too. And those targets that you see around the course, when they're hit with projectiles, they will activate traps. So that hammer motivator you have above the big balls, if somebody hits that, the motivator will swing down. Stuff like the sucker punch, where there's those 2 targets. When those targets are hit, all the gloves in that one block will fire out immediately. On the dirty balls, there's 2 targets, and when one is hit, the ball below it immediately sinks into the mud, whether you're on it or not. He's able to hit them from pretty much off screen, and I still don't know how he does that.
Alright, warp speed 3 times in a row.
Yeah, jumping onto the sucker punch a lot of the time will allow you to skip like half the obstacle, which is a huge time save because the sucker punch is slow.
Alright, 5 now. 2 more levels, and then it's over.
Yeah, one interesting thing about the scary-go-around, which is what we got stuck on for quite a while earlier, in the show, it was from Season 2, and the platforms you had to jump onto were a lot smaller, and it was moving a lot faster. It was still easier than it is in this game.
Oh yes, and it's important to mention that they are bringing it back for
there's
an 8th season.
Wipeout ran for 7 seasons on ABC and was canceled after 2014. They were planning a reboot called Wipeout Extreme that never ended up happening. Netflix bought the lot that Wipeout was filmed on. It was Sable Ranch in Santa Clara, California. They filmed Ultimate Beastmaster on it. 3 seasons of that. It got canceled. ABC bought the lot back out and put Holy Moly on it. And now Wipeout is scheduled for a return. Same producer. Now they're not going to have the same host, unfortunately. But it's slated for just like a full-on reboot. Probably next year. It was originally dubbed Wipeout 2020, but COVID-19 happened. So we're probably not going to be filming Wipeout this year.
They're recruiting right now.
Yeah. It's going to be on TBS Turner Broadcasting. The format, all that we really know is that it's going to be 3 rounds instead of 4. Pretty much every episode will be teams of either 2 or 3. They did teams episodes of 2, never 3 in the original run of the show. And the prize, the prize is lower, $25,000 instead of $50,000, but that's to be expected because I doubt they'd have a huge budget. The thing that I'm really worried about is that I don't think the show itself will be too terrible, but I don't know how they're gonna pull in that really good ratings when it's on a station like TBS.
Which is for comedy.
Yeah. From what I know, people only really tune into TBS to watch the MLB postseason. But maybe you'll stand to be corrected. I certainly hope I will. I'd like to see it succeed.
That is time.
Yes.
GG.
Took much longer than it probably needed to, but what can you do? Sometimes the game gets a mind of its own.
Yep. Ooh, that was something else.
Well, that was the Wipeout the game for the Wii all challenge mode levels.
Ooh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure what the next run is, but I'm sure it'll be a blast.
Yep. Thank you for watching.